Okay, my name is Martin Brunner. I started with a project that was called GrazWiki, but now it got a little bit bigger, and it's also possible to enter any city in the project. And so if you see any of these names, it's the same project. I make a short introduction about the project, and then I show the working system. So it's Baugeschichte.at, or we have an English entrance site at housetrails.org, but the whole system is not translated to English yet. The idea started when you come to some place in the city where you see that something has changed, but you cannot really remember what has changed. So there was the idea to collect the information, and here you see the change. So the first picture is from the year 1910, then you see 100 years later, the house is already looking a little bit misplaced, there are the higher buildings, there are houses missing. Then they demolished the house from the 17th century 1 year later to make this, actually. And also this can happen to whole streets. For example, like this is a picture from 1984. You see some small business, some glove store, some upholsterer, some restaurants. And then it started in 1987. The first building on the left side was replaced. Then you see in the year 2002, the building in the middle already looks a little bit lost. On the right side, buildings are missing. On the left side, there's a different building. Then it had certainly some bad renovation. And in the end, this is what it looks now. So we have the usual stores like the Admiral Sport Beds, Kick, Billa. Then it's going on with Pipa and Hotel Mercure. So these chains you have everywhere in the country replace the whole street with with these buildings. And if you collect this information, it might be interesting for people to see how their environment develops, if they like these changes, if they don't like it, if they have some suggestions for other things. And the project also fills the gap a little bit for buildings who are not protected yet. Although in these examples, the first building was under national heritage, and this was in a protection zone. So you see that the protection does not mean very much, but still, even if the buildings are not protected, and so the information usually is not collected, then with this system people should be able to collect pictures and maybe stories about the houses, and maybe also find solutions how they like it to be done. For example, here we have a renovation of a house that wasn't looking very good anymore. And here we also have a house that has been renovated and included in the new building on the other side. Well, not everyone might like this either, but I think it's the idea to collect possibilities we have. And also sometimes to watch a little bit what's happening, because on the left side we see how the building was planned, how it was allowed to be done. Then here we see how it was done, actually. And then here we see, well, even the mayor complained that he told them to fix this a little bit, so they fixed it with having some glass in front, but it's still not looking like it should supposed to be. So, and maybe this was one of the reasons why I didn't ask my city for supporting me with money, because they don't always like this to be seen, I guess. But luckily it was funded by the Netty Day, which is some fund of the Austrian internet providers. And the idea was also to use the semantic media wiki. There was some programmer coming up with something else, but I was confident that this is a good solution because it's already proven, it's security. Let's say if the funding is over, then I know there might be still bug fixes, and I don't have to raise money for having this going on, because it started as a private project. And it's also connecting to an app. So if you're looking for Baugeschichte in the Android, or you can also look for GrazWiki, then you find the app for Android. And if you're unable at this point in the menu, then you get the position where you are, and you see also the surrounding addresses that are in the database. So we also have information about Vienna, since the data Mostly in Graz, it was coming from people who worked, who took the pictures, who described the buildings. But we also imported the data from Wiki Loves Monuments for some cities just to test things and to have it in the app. And you can also do routes. And okay, so let's show the system. So this is what the entrance side is looking like. It's already a different template. And then you see the map. You can click into the map. Here we have an example from Vienna. Maybe if you saw the Stephansdom, then you have this building called Haas House. And if you want to know what was here before, then we have the building from the 50s. And this is another building that has been destroyed in the Second World War. So you can see what's going on here. And this is we are using the Semantic Maps plugin. And in the beginning we had some problems that it was only possible to do a query of surrounding places. Like I was able to say, show me all entries that are surround 100 meters at the point I have selected, and then you just saw some houses around. And if you made the radius bigger, then the map was going to be smaller because all markers had to be on the map. But we changed it this way so that it is possible now to have the query for the markers, but they don't have all to be on the map. So if I zoom outside, then I see the addresses in Vienna, and if they, so in the closer radius I have every house. So this is what is under national heritage. And if I go a little bit outside, I have the marker and I have a grouped street name. So once I click into this street name, then I will have a better resolution of the surrounding houses. So let's see. Yeah, now I don't have only the street, I have other houses. And for example, so let's go to the city of Graz, because there we have also markers in the different colors. These are kind of, let's say addresses of interest. And so let's choose, this, for example. Okay, so then we see the change again. And then we also have categories. These are just normal MediaWiki categories now, but we plan to improve this with the semantic. So for example, I can choose all the buildings that have been demolished since the year 2000. And then I get it on the map of the city. And so, let's see what I want to put. Okay. So we also improved the search, because the problem was also that we only had like 10 results. So if I start typing now, whoops, okay, I already hit the enter button. So if I start typing, then now it's grouping the street names. And once I go a little bit further, then it's showing me the all the addresses, but still it's limited. So that was, of course, this is some of the problems we had. We improved it a little bit so that because people start typing and they think that they don't have the address, we don't have the address in the system if it isn't suggested. So, but let's go to some other address. This is the next plugin I can show you, because we are using semantic forms also for entering the data. And so in this case I have to sign in first. Okay, so if I click here, I get the forms. And so we have we have many fields for the pictures, but we have here we have the address information. You enter the street name. I see the house number is missing, and name of the city. Then we can write how it is protected, Or we can also choose category, like if it is empty, you can say, okay, it's empty, or maybe it's there is a project, or we can choose 2 of the categories. And since we saw yesterday from the project from Switzerland, we also were thinking about how to solve this. So our idea was to have the address, like in this, it's Konrad von Hötzendorf Straße 60, and we add the houses to the address. So if there is a building, we add the building to the address, and if there was a building before, then we also add this to the address. But this is sometimes it's, oh yeah, okay. Sometimes it's difficult how to how to organize these things. But here we have the forms. Here we can select what kind of building this is. Here we can upload the pictures. Yeah, by this chance I want to mention that there was a problem with the semantic forms, because there is these upload forms. And everything works nicely unless you get questioned for some reason. If you get a question like, this name has already been taken, do you want to replace this? Then there still is a bug in semantic forms. But yeah. So, okay, this was introducing the project so far. And I have to say, I think it's great that there are some projects with a similar goal, with showing people about the history, about the environment. So I hope that there is lots of happening in this kind of topic. Yeah.